Hello everyone, welcome back. So this video, rather a short video, I'll just create to explain how from BTP job scheduling service you can pass a payload, and the same payload can be consumed within any application. So for the sake of demonstration, I'll be just making things very simplified. I'll just create a simple Node.js application, but in real world, it can be any other application too. For example, a Graph or maybe a RESTful app or any other Python or Node.js based application. Everything will work with the same concept. So this video I just created based on certain requests. I assume like this probably a question maybe for other viewers too. So hope this simplified demonstration can help you all. So without further ado, let's create a simple Node.js application first locally, and then the same application will bind it to, deploy rather to BTP Cloud. And over there, we'll bind this Node.js application with an XSUA service, which is an authentication and authorization service. Also, the BTP Job Scheduling service needs to be bind with this Node.js application. So that's the overall do. And while we'll schedule a job, we'll pass a simple JSON payload, kind of a name and kind of a last name something. And the same will be concatenating over here in this Node.js application and send it back to as a job log. Okay, so that's the overall purpose of this video. So let's get into the coding part now. Now to start with, as usual, an empty folder called BTP Payload Demo kind of, and then open a new terminal and create a folder called app folder. And now within this app, we can create a package.json. I'll use init, it should be npm init -y. So it will create a package.json within that folder. Cool. So let's create a file called index.js, and in the package.json we can remove this start let's create with the start and put it like node index. Okay, now to start with I need express, so we can put npm install express. Anything else I need? For the time being, no. Let's make it simple. So it will just install express to my app folder. Within this app folder, cool. So next, let's create constant require, and we can put called express, and now create an application called So let's create one more constant that is called port. Default would be process.env port or maybe 4000. Okay, so that is a default 4000 port if it doesn't find the process or environment port. So let's create call app get, and root is the main root. So let's go for a handler or express handler request response, and we can just send response.send, and we can say like welcome to BTP job demo. Okay, so something a root, I just want to send this response. Now we have to initiate that server. So app.listen, all set. So this is the simple get operation it will do. So let's save it and now run npm run start. So ideally, if everything fine, it is listening on port 4000, file called localhost 4000, and it is showing welcome to BTP job demo. Now the thing is, when we will need to pass a payload from the BTP job, it will be basically a post operation. So we need to implement a post method. So let's implement post, and let's create a different route this time. I call it BTP job. Again, put an handler, and you can put request and response. So here what I want to do, we want to extract the payload from the request. So let's do this. Let's say the request would be containing first name and last name. So I would just like to extract, let's say, first name and last name. Okay, these two things I want to extract from request or body. Okay, and next would be just to response dot status to put because it will be, let's say, passing a payload to create the data. So I want to just make it 201 and send. I just need to concatenate. So hello first name and can do in the same only, maybe that's okay. First name and last name, right? So hello, whatever the name I'll give, it will just do a reading. So now to test it, we can do various, so we can run Postman or something, but I'll make it very simplified. Let's create a file within the app folder, or maybe something, a folder called test. And within this test, let's create a file called test.http. So this is a REST client. So let's start with the post. Yeah. So the URL would be http localhost 4000 is my code, right? Rather, the path that we have set is called BTP job. So set this path over here. Now the header content should be application JSON. So it should be application JSON, and the content will be a JSON payload. So I want to put something like first name. It should be the same that we have extracted. So double click and put within this one first name. It puts maybe Somnath, and last name I want to put it something the same name, and maybe okay, fine. So this is the simple post request that will make, which will eventually come over here into this application post. It will extract first name and last name, then it will just concatenating, and before that will prefix with hello. So let's save all the files first. And I didn't run nodemon, so we have to run this application once again. npm run start. So now it's running in 4000 back. So let's go to http and run. What will happen? It will fail. Why? It says that it's a long story, cannot destructure property of body which is undefined, because it didn't find the rest body itself within the within this application. Okay, so what the problem? It's not a problem, it's a default behavior. So we have to basically use two middleware, okay, for this application. So for that we have to use called JSON, and we also have to use one more thing, and it is called URL encoded, and we have to pass a JSON called extended. I'll just pass it as false. Okay, so this I just need to pass. So let's save all. You can run nodemon index, so it will also be listening mode. Something wrong, what's happened? Okay, so this JSON should be JSON. Okay, this is something we just need to, now it is well fine. It's automatically the server started and the 4000 port is listening to. Let's go back and let's send the request. Let's see what happened this time. Hello Somnath call. Awesome, right? So status 201 and our application is ready. Very simple app, nothing to do much, but in the real world this application will be containing much more content. But make sure that you have this middleware used to extract the request body from this payload. So next, what is the action? Let's deploy this application to the BTP cloud. For that we need one file that is called manifest.yml. So stop this server and come out of this app folder and come back to the original BTP payload demo, whatever. So let's create a file called manifest.yml. The file name to start with within BTP folder, we just need to create a file called manifest.yml. Now the thing is, like, in real application, it's for demos, manifestation YML is okay, but in real world it will be an mta.yml file. So where we'll be offering all the services and all the parameters and all the modules. But to make it simplified, I just use manifest.yml, and from there I'll just deploy this code to cloud. So let's put that, create this things called applications. So this is YML, so it is little tricky to start with. Make sure this all the tabs and all are all correct, and so otherwise it will not be working. So you can put name as any name you can put. You can put my Node app. Oh, my bad. It should be a space. And after that, you can say something like random root. That I want to set it as true. What else? I need a host. I can put my host, anything you can put. Next is the path that I need to give, because I'm outside of my app folder. So I just want to tell, like, get the details of the app from the app folder. So that's the path is important. Let's add a little bit of memory to this for this application, and I'll just put 64 MB should be sufficient. Build pack I want to put because we are using an express node modules, so we need some Node.js build pack. Build pack, right? Now we discussed just now that we'll have services that we need to bind to. So to bind this application, we need to have those services already existing. So if you just try with an MTA, then probably in the MTA itself you can put as a managed service and it will be automatically created. For demonstration purpose, we'll be creating first this one, and then we have to bind it in the manifest itself. So let's complete the binding part first. So this called services. And in the services, we need two things called, let's create a service called accessua underscore node, just for, or maybe you can put a BTP, okay. And one more service we need, that's BTP job. So one important thing to call out, this sequence is very important. So first you'll be having this accessua BTP, and then we'll be having BTP job. So if you just do the other way, like first BTP and then accessua, the application will be failed to be deployed, because the moment BTP job it wants to get this application bind to, it ensures this application is already have an accessua linked. Otherwise, this BTP job will not be allowing this application to bind. Okay, so that's the reason the sequence is very, very important. Don't play around with the sequence. Always follow first accessua and then the job service. For the accessua, let's do that. The syntax is Cloud Foundry. Now make sure you just first logged in. So CF target, if I just run, I'll be knowing if I'm already logged in or not. If it fetches all the details, yeah, it's able to fetch. So that means I'll be able to work now. So for that, the syntax is CF. Then it's a create service, or you can do simple called CS, which is a short form of create service. And then you have to give, tell me what service you want to do. That is accessua. That is the service you want to do. And what is the plan type? The plan type will be application. And the name of the service is accessua underscore BTP. Now you have some further options possible, like -c, and you want to give an access security.json if you want to attach certain roles and kind of a templates, etc. along with this accessua BTP service creation, then you can give this one. But we are making it simplified. We don't have any role template or something complicated. very simple thing. So let's start with this one. If everything fine, it should be giving a successful note saying like okay. So that means the service is created. To start creating the BTP job service, same concept, Cloud Foundry create service. Service name is called Job Scheduler. And next is the plan type will be light because we are using a trial account. Now next is the service name, and that is BTP underscore job. And let's create it. Everything fine. It should be able to create the service. Voila, it's created. So now to check if both the services got created or not, Cloud Foundry service. So it will just pull down all the available created service that I have at this moment. Yeah, it's created XSUA BTP and BTP job. These two things is created successfully. Okay, cool. Now to start deploying this application to cloud, let's take out this test folder because we don't need to deploy anything over there in the cloud. And we have saved all the files. Both the services already just created, so it will just find these two services when this application got created successfully over the cloud. To push this one, make sure you are on the same folder under which this manifest.yml resides. So just run cp push. Everything fine, then it'll work, otherwise it will fail. Let's see what it stocks. It's yeah, manifest now applied. It will take little time to create all the things. Yeah, awesome. The application now started, and this is the kind of an random route that you can find. So let's go to the cloud and see how it is. The other side of my monitor where you can go to the instances, go to dev space, and we'll be seeing our application is here. It's up and running. This is the URL just now we have seen. So if you want to test it, in the root node, it will just show welcome to BTP job demo. So it's all working fine. Now to test this application, for the post operation, we'll be using our BTP job instance. So let's go to dev, go to the instances, and we'll see the job instance. This is BTP job instance. It's automatically, you see the binding happen with the both XSA BTP and the BTP job, right? So this both way our application is bound to automatically because of the manifest.yml service binding. So let's click on that. It will be opening the dashboard of the BTP one. Just select the available logged in account with your trial account service. Fine. So now go to jobs, and here you will find something called create job. The name is like BTP job demo. Anything you can give. The target application should be the application we have just deployed. Select it. Action URL, make sure that application which we just executed from the cloud. So this is the application URL. You can just go to job scheduling and put that action URL. Make sure you put BTP job at the end. So you have just put BTP job. Now HTTP method, it should be post operation because we want to pass the payload, and just click on save. Make sure you click this activate job. Okay, so it saved it. So now it is not yet scheduled. That's what it says. That's not doesn't have any schedule. So get into that, and now click on this schedule option, and now create a new schedule. And here I want to just put now, means immediately I want to schedule it. So the moment I will just click on save, actually one post operation will happen, and here is the option where you have to put your JSON payload. Fine. So the moment I'll click on save, one post operation will automatically happen. This is because I have put the one-time scheduling as now. Okay, so let's click on save it. If everything fine, it's immediately inactive because the operation is already performed. So click on that, and now you'll see the run logs, right? If you go there, completed successfully. If you just click on that, hello Somnath Pal. So our post operation figured successfully. That's all. I also created one BTP job scheduling related application, the video where I just demonstrated how you can access the RESTful ABAP service within this Node.js application, which is a little more complicated, and I have used the user credential there. You may take a look in my YouTube channel. From the video section you can find this out, and I will also give the video URL in the description box so that you can check this out from there as well. So in the subsequent tutorial, we'll be again extending this discussion further, because I want to discuss certain things on the authentication also. So complicated scenarios we'll just get into, and we'll also understand different authentication process, and that is very, very important. I believe that will be helpful too. So stay tuned, and we'll again connect shortly. Goodbye.